Hey y'all, don't mind me, I was just washing the dishes, so I got a big wet spot on my shirt. But hey guys, I'm gonna be making a vending machine tonight. So this one's for Sarani, and we're over here getting ready for Easter. I'm gonna drop my Easter promo soon on my personal page. So the first thing I'm gonna show you guys is that I used Canva, I don't know if you guys can see it, to make my template. So that's my daughter. Everything is easily, you can move it. You can change some of the colors. Let's see, these are the sides. So I just put her name, picture of her. This is just an element of bunny ears, and I just put it on top of her head so she looks like the Easter bunny. And these are some of the templates I have available. So this one, I actually, underneath it, there was a picture of a baby on Google with a Miss Rachel outfit on. And all I did was crop it to take the head off and put my baby's head on top with a pair of element ears. So that's the template. So I already printed out all my pieces. This is gonna be my front door for my vending machine. These are my sides. And then this is going to be my back. And these are all 13 by 19 printouts. I did print out on adhesive paper. I have made these with regular paper as well. The only difference is you would glue your paper down when you start. But they do sell 13 by 19 rolls of sticker paper if you have a 13 by 19 printer. So this is my first piece of foam board. I got it from the Dollar Tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my back piece and I'm going to put it, actually, I'm going to start with my side piece. I'm going to make this differently than I did last year. So last year, I made all of my pieces individually and then I glued them together. This time, I think what I'll do is I'll score my foam board instead so I can have one big piece to make it easier on myself. So I'm going to start with the sides then. I want the side to be at the edge of my foam board. Oh, well, let me see. Adjust on the camera some. So I'm going to cut it by hand. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. And I'm sorry if you guys are commenting. I'll come back and respond to the comments because I can't see them. So I'm going to cut it out. And I'm going to line it up to this edge so that I have a perfect straight edge. And that also makes it so that I don't have to cut another, I don't have to make an extra cut. So I like to work smarter, not harder. All right. So I just cut around it and I'm going to line it up onto my foam board like that. And like I said, this one is sticker paper, so there's already adhesive. I do not have to glue it. It's a little off, but that's all right. That's all right. It's a little off. but I can cut it, so it's no big deal. Then I'm going to put my back piece so that it's lined up. Because I'm going to make it kind of like a trifold, if that makes sense. And you can also use a, if you have a paper cutter, you can use a paper cutter as well. So I'm just trimming off the border right now. All right. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna peel it, and I'm gonna try to line it up to this piece. If only it would come off. All right, there we go. All right, let me see. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because we are going to make it fold, so. All right. So now I'm just getting rid of any bubbles by applying some pressure. If you have a squeegee, you can use that. I'm just using it with my hands. All right. And then my last side. Trying to do it this way or this way. She can't read anyway, so she don't care. I'm gonna line it up. Okay. All right. And I'm gonna peel it so that I can line it up by the side instead of the bottom. So just fold that over a little bit. Put it a little higher. Boop. All right, there we go. Oh, okay. I think my board is. All right. All right, so that's my back and my two sides. So next, I'm going to trim around it with my Xacto knife. Let me put... I don't have a cutting mat, so I'm going to put an old board underneath it so that I don't cut my countertop. So I'm cutting around the edges, and I'm going to cut all the way through for this. And this is a new blade. Okay. And I am going to save that piece that I cut off so that I can make a shelf with it. And then I'm just going to cut this little bit of extra off right here. All right. This piece I'm not keeping. All right. So this piece in the center is 13 by 19. The sides are 5 inches wide by 19. So I'm going to flip it over and grab my ruler. And I'm going to measure 5 inches so I can score it. So, let me get a marker. And then this is just like a really large ruler from Cricut. So I'm going to cut through the foam, but not all the way through. I'm going to cut about a little bit more than halfway so that it'll fold up and be structured. Okay? So... I probably should have scored it on the other side, but that's all right. All right, it'll work. All right, it's gonna work. It would have been easier if I scored it on the other side, but that's okay. This still works. So then I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna measure from my edge 5 inches in, because that is the size of my side. I'm going to mark it so that I can score it in. Now, like I said, you're not cutting all the way through. This is a score line. So you're gonna go a little bit more than halfway. All right, make sure it's just straight. Right, so I see now it's one piece. Instead of having to make separate pieces and glue them together, this saves you so much time because you have your bases, your foundation. Okay, so now let me do my shelving. So I'm just going to use this scrap piece from before. Let's see. So the inside should be about, let's see. It measures out to 12 inches because I had trimmed it down. So you want your shelves to match that. And then I like the height of my shelf to be the 5 inches so that when you put it together, it'll match. Doesn't have to be exact, but as close as you can get. So I'm gonna do probably a little bit less than 5. So where's my marker? So you're gonna mark it down so you know where you're cutting. This is just for my width right now. And then I'll go back and cut it to get the right length of it, okay? So I'm getting the 5 inches right now. And I'm cutting all the way through for this. All right. Now let's see how big I need to make it for. All right. So right about here. All right, so I just lined it up. I don't know if you can see, to see if it'll fit. And I put a little black line here where the edge meets the other edge, so I know where to cut. All right, so now I'm just gonna cut it again. Right by my black line. You can use a pen too, but I just have a Sharpie on hand. All right, so the amount of shelves depends on your preference. Let's see, 1, 2. So you're gonna need a top and a bottom. For me, it depends on what I'm putting inside. So if I'm gonna put something that's bigger, I'll have more space between my shelves so that my items fit. But I usually use smaller things like chips, marshmallows, little toys, coloring books. So I usually don't put too much space. That's gonna depend on you and what you're putting in. Say if I was putting, I don't know. Say if I was gonna put this candle in, I would just put it on my template and see how much space I would need, if that makes sense, to make sure that my shelf is big enough, if that makes sense. So I'm going to make the rest of my shelves. Bear with me, my house is small. But this is gonna be now my template for the rest of my shelves. This is the right size that I needed. I think it's like 12 by 5. So I'm just gonna use this, and I'm gonna do it maybe like 5 times for good measure. I may or may not use all the shelves on this one, but I know I'll be making more vending machines, so I'm gonna save the extra foam board. So it works out either way. And your cuts don't have to be perfect on the edges because you're going to glue them in anyway. So no one's gonna ever see them. On the sides at least. If you have a foam cutter, you can use that as well. I just am using an Xacto knife because I have a brand new blade, so all my cuts are crisp. So okay. All right, 2, 3. So I'm gonna make 2 more. All right, and then 1 more. just gonna put that back there for now. So this is my base and my shelves. All right. So I'm gonna start from the bottom up. The bottom I like to put as close to the end seam as I can. When I do my top, I do have it a little bit lower so that if I want to put maybe like grass on top or stuffed animals, there will be a little ledge for everything to stand up. So I'll show you that once I get to the top. But whichever is the nicer edge, I'm going to have facing forward. Some people even put a pattern on here or on the back. I'm not doing all that, but you can do that if you would like to. So I'm gonna put my hot glue across here. Can you see me? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just putting hot glue across the long edge right now. Then I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to hold it up so that it stays in place. Okay? So this will probably take about 30 seconds for it to solidify. So all right, so then I'm going to glue one side over here, and do I want to do that now or do I want to do it at the end? I'll do it now. Okay, and then you're gonna hold it up. And this is the hot glue that I use. I've never had a problem with this glue. I love it. Okay. So then you can go back across if you'd like to and add some more glue just for good measure and stability. I try to make them as heavy duty as possible because they're children. Children are rough with their things, so. Okay. Okay. So I'm holding that for a little bit. And then, like I said, the distance in between, it all depends on what you're going to put in here. So Serani's a baby. I'm only gonna put little things in hers. So, all right. Above the bottom shelf, remember, well, I didn't tell you yet, but there's going to be a little flap in the front. So I want to make it so that I can put something in the bottom one as well. So, let's see, is this? All right. Let me see if I can see any comments because my phone doesn't show me the comments. I don't know why. No, it just says who's watching. But I will come back and reply to any comments. All right. Let me see. Do I have a clip? That's all right. All right, let me take the sticker off of this one. I'm just taking off the Dollar Tree sticker. All right, so then this one. All right, it's still not dry yet. That's all right. I'm just gonna multitask. Okay. I'm sorry if y'all hear Blue's Clues in the black background. My daughter is watching the TV in the other room. All right. And also make sure, so when you're gluing these in, the side that's folded, how it's an L, make sure that all your shelves are glued as close to that side so that you're not on your crease, so that when we glue this side up at the M, it'll still fold. So you want to make sure that your edge is not past your score line, okay? So then I'm going to go back, put some more glue. And if you notice, I multitask, so like, I don't know if you can see my hand, like I'm holding it up as I'm putting glue on the next one. If you have like a clip, you can clip it. I don't, so I just use both of my hands and just make it do with what I got. Alright. So then by the time I'm done gluing it, the one before should be solid and in place. If that makes sense. Okay. And they don't have to be perfect. Like you see, I'm not measuring because, like I said, I'm not making it full of larger items. For mine, I'm only going to do I'm only going to do 3 shelves for this one. This is a 13 by 19 vending machine. When I do my next one, I am going to have it, let me see, can you see the top? Let me slide down. So I'm not going to put it at the top edge. I'm going to put it like a little bit lower so that I can have things stand on top of my vending machine. Okay? So it'll make sense once it's all together. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So, all right. All right. So I'm going to go back and put a little bit extra glue underneath. just so that it's sturdy. And then the sturdier it is, the more weight you can put on your shelves. I've already put like cars, toys, Play-Dohs, things like that, and had no issues. But yeah, definitely reinforce your glue for your shelves. Okay. And I like to put the glue at the bottom of my shelves because no one's gonna see it. If you put it on the top, it'll be visible, if that makes sense. So I reinforce on the bottom. Okay. So you see I pretty much have my foundation pretty much, okay? So now all you have to do, this makes it easier, is glue all these edges and fold it up. So that's gonna be easy. That's why I did it like this. I try to make things easier because I usually have the baby with me when I craft. So I try to make things smarter, not harder. Okay. You can see? Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to take the side and fold it up. And then I'm just going to hold it nice and tight so that it stays in place. So this is already the whole foundation of the vending machine. So, like I said, right now I'm just holding it in place so it doesn't fall down. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is while I'm holding it together with this hand, I'm gonna reinforce the edges with my other hand. All right. So I'm just gonna hold that for a little bit. All right, it's actually secure for now. So that's my body of it. And I'll show you better once I'm done. Okay? So now I'm gonna make my front door. So this is my front sticker. Now, when I made the template, the white square, we're gonna cut that out because that's going to be your window. So that's why I have it like this. You can, when you place things, you can put your pictures around here. Just make sure that it doesn't take up too much space because then you can't see what's inside the vending machine. I personally this time did not because then I have to cut around the photo. I don't mind doing that, but just for the example, I didn't want to do all that. But if it was a photo, you would just cut around and cut the edges off for your window, okay? So Like I said, if you have a paper cutter, you can use that to cut around the edges. I am using scissors because that's what I have. If you want the white border, you can keep it on. I'm just taking it off just because I am. There's no real rhyme or reason. Okay. So now I'm going to line this up to the edge. I'm actually going to do it this way, so that my door edge will be perfectly straight where my door meets the box to open it, because you're gonna see later I'm gonna add some hinges. So I want to use the straightest edge for that. So I flipped my board so I can put it so that the opening side is on the opposite side. So I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm going to peel my side down. Got hot glue sticking on me. So I can line it up by the side. So okay. So since my ledge is perfectly lined up now, I'm just gonna peel the back off and smooth it out. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to cut the extra board off all the way through. I'm not scoring, I'm cutting all the way through. And I do have a board underneath it because I do not have a cutting board. So I'm just using another foam board underneath. All right. And then I'm going to trim the edge on the top. Okay. And then now I'm going to cut here along the black line. That's why it's there, just to be like a guide for you on the template. And I'm going to cut around that for my window. And when you're working in the template, if you want a bigger window, you can extend it. I just have a small one just because I just thought it was cute. And you can use a foam cutter if you have one. I'm just using an Xacto knife. Let me flip it this way. And you are cutting all the way through. This is not a score, because we're going to pop this out. All right. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper for this one. Actually, let me look at the back. There we go. Let me take that $1.25 off too. All right. So this is my front door. So typically, I use cellophane wrap, like the roll, for my window, but I could not find it. So I'm actually going to use, this is like a clear plastic bag you can put like shirts and stuff in. I'm actually just going to use this and cut it. You can also use cling wrap or saran wrap for your window too. Use what you have at home. So well, before I do this, let me quick do my little door. Let me do that first before I get too excited. So you're gonna cut down on this one, and this one, okay? So it's gonna be 3 ways, all the way through, okay? Before I put my window on. I'm just turning it for the angle for my cut. Okay. And did I cut all the way through? No. So I'm just going back over so I can get it to cut all the way through for that. Okay. So now, where the other line, this line would be right here, from here to there, you're going to score it. You're not going to cut it, okay? Because if you cut it, your whole door is going to fall off. If you score it, it'll be able to bend in and out so that the kids can see what's inside of the vending machine. So I'm going to get my ruler. Just so I have my, because I don't have the line on this side. Let me just use my ruler, line up to each cut. And you're going to go through maybe like 75% through. Not all the way. Okay. All right, so you see you can't see it because I didn't go all the way through. You're gonna slowly push the door through, okay? And you're gonna bend it a little bit so that, there you go. Now if you want, you can trim this a little bit, but I like to leave mine like a little bit open like this so that the kids can see like it's a flap. Sometimes people will write push or pull or whatever on here. It's up to you and your preference. So that's my window. Okay, not my window, that's my door, my bad. So now, I'm gonna take this bag, because I'm being resourceful, and you only need enough plastic to cover this little area. So I'm just gonna eyeball it, honestly. If your window is going to be a rectangle, your plastic will be rectangle. If you're doing a square like I am, then your window will be a square. Your plastic, I mean. Okay. Now I do have 2 pieces of plastic because this was a bag. All right. So when you trim it, you do want to make sure that the plastic does not go over your door. Can you guys see? Okay. So let me make this a little bit shorter. I'm just eyeballing it, honestly. You just want to make sure that you have enough edge to tape it down. You don't need too much. Okay. I have about a 1/2 inch around extra. So where is my tape? Oh, all this dang stuff. All right. I mean, if you want to, you can try hot glue, but I'm just going to tape it because the tape is clear just like the window, so you won't really be able to see it too much. All right. I'm just trying to make sure that my plastic is smooth as I'm doing this. Okay. I pretty much tape each corner and then I put a piece in the middle. All right, and voila. You see it? That's my door. Okay. Now, let me find. Forgot to pull them out. Okay, then. Don't we use these? Yeah. Okay, so I have hinges that I got for the door. There's adhesive on them. So you're just going to use these to connect your door to your machine. So where do I want to put it? So some people put their hinges on the outside. I personally put them on the inside. It's just my preference. I just like the look better. These are 35 by 25 millimeters. I don't know how many inches or anything it is, but. And I did put the link to them in the and all the materials in the event tab. So you just peel off the red thing. And I do also add glue to it because I don't trust the glue itself by itself. So I'm peeling that red off. And I'm going to add one at the top, one at the bottom, one in the middle. So For the top one, I'm going to make sure it's underneath the top ledge because I don't want it exposed at the top. So I'm going to put it under here, okay? So I'm going to put it on. So I have my finger underneath the hinge, and I'm gonna put my door lined up, and I'm gonna press it. I'm gonna hold it. Okay. Okay. So that's the first one. Yeah, this glue is crazy. Be careful that you don't pull the glue off when you're trying to get this dang plastic off of these. This is why I add hot glue to it too, because that glue is too freely moving for me. I mean, clearly it works good enough to keep that plastic on, but I just worry that the adhesive will detach itself, so I add hot glue as well. Come on. What the heck? Dang, this is making me sweaty. What the heck? Hang on. Okay. There we go. Whew. I was about to quit. All right. Put some glue. All right, so now this one will go under my middle shelf. Put some glue on that. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna hold it so that my hinge stays in place. I might have to glue it again, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Okay. And then one more time. Because like I said, I use 3 hinges. Peel off the coating backing, whatever you want to call it. All right. Putting some hot glue on it. Just because I don't trust that adhesive alone. Oh man, I dropped it. All right. All right. All right. So, let me see. I'm gonna glue this top one again. Okay, I'm just adding some more glue. To my door. Yeah, because that middle one did not stick for nothing. There we go. All right, so let me flip my camera. How the heck? Now I feel like an old lady. Okay. All right, you see what I mean? How I have a ledge here? So I can put some things on here that are taller and fill this with grass. Put stuffed animals or toys or candy or whatever. And this is how it turned out. My baby loves her some Auntie Rachel. I owe this lady child support. They look more alike than me and her look. My baby. Wow, I finally, the only comment I see, I don't know if there's any more. That looks good. Thank you. And then, hang on, because I'm trying to hold my phone. Hang on. See? And then they open it up. There can be things in there for her. It looks so much nice when you... Nah, she's your twin. That's funny. Now I'm getting comments all that time I've been on here. But anyway, you can see... Once I fill it up, you can tell what's in here. And, yeah. Miss Rachel should be her girl. But, yeah, you can also, for design ideas, you could put, like, the name on the front if you want. You could put, like I said, pictures around. I only didn't because I wanted to show you a nice, easy, clean cut. But you can put pictures around the edges. I've done that before. You can change whatever you want it to say, but this is just a simple one. Just an easy idea. Easy for beginners. But yeah. You owe her big money for your grandson? Girl, me too. I be feeling like she has like a thing for Miss Rachel more than me. Hilarious. How do I flip this back? Oh, here. But yeah, that's the easier way. Like I was saying before, the old way that I did it last year was I made every piece separate and then glued them all together. That was okay, but when you make the foundation first, it saves you so much time and effort because then you just glue it all together. You're welcome. Yeah, I be putting my spin on things because I know a lot of people make them, but everybody does it differently. You might see something that you like, something you didn't like, whatever, and make your own spin on it like I did. But yeah, we'll see how I feel. I might do a washing machine. I might do a refrigerator. We'll see. That's funny. My daughter got the microphone. She can't talk, but she'll try to sing the songs in like the Miss Rachel microphone. It's hilarious. But if you guys have any other ideas too of things that you want to see for Easter, let me know. I'm gonna try my best. But I am thinking about doing the washing machine. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Oh yeah, and I really do want to do the vanity too. So I might make one of those. Maybe I'll do a poll and see what gets the most votes. I have a lot of nieces and nephews, so I can practice on a lot of these things. But yeah. Well, guys, thank you for watching. The templates, the link is in the event tab. And all my products that I use today are in the event tab. And I also mentioned some cheat sheet ways you can do it to save money. Like I said, the window, you can use cling wrap. You can use saran wrap, stuff like that, instead of spending too much money on cellophane. I just used a t-shirt bag today because that's what was in my reach. But yeah, I'm a crafter on a budget, so use what you got first. So I am done for tonight. I will go back and check the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a good night.